As autumn deepens, the UK's favorite topic, weather, takes center stage. November is notorious for its rapid shifts. One day feels like late summer, the next brings a chill that hints at winter. The big question, will November finally bring the cold, or will mild, wet days linger? To predict November's weather, we need to understand the current atmospheric standoff. To the west, the Atlantic churns out a steady stream of low-pressure systems, bringing wet, windy weather. These systems want to sweep across the UK, but a strong high-pressure area over Europe is blocking their path. High pressure means calm, dry conditions, acting as a barrier to the Atlantic's unsettled weather. As a result, weather systems are slowing down, stalling, or diverting north. This traffic jam in the atmosphere is why our weather is so unpredictable right now. The battle between these two systems will shape the coming weeks. For the first half of November, the Atlantic dominates, keeping things unsettled. Expect frequent rain and cloudy skies. Umbrellas and waterproofs are a must. Temperatures will stay mild thanks to southerly winds dragging in warmer air. Cold snaps are unlikely for now. In fact, we might see a brief temperature rise before things settle. While it's wet and windy, true winter chill is still waiting in the wings. The winds themselves will be a noticeable feature of the weather. As November unfolds, it becomes clear that not everyone across the UK will experience the month's weather in quite the same way. The country's unique geography and the position of weather systems mean that the coming weeks will bring a striking contrast between the West and the East. For many, this divide will shape daily routines, travel plans, and even the mood of communities. Western regions, Wales, Northern Ireland, Southwest England, and Western Scotland are set to bear the brunt of the season's wildest weather. Here, Atlantic weather fronts will sweep in, bringing persistent heavy rain and powerful winds that lash the coastline and sweep across hills and valleys. For those living in these areas, the sound of rain against the window and the sight of wind-battered trees will become a familiar backdrop. The impact of these slow-moving weather systems is significant, with rain falling for hours or even days at a time. Rivers and streams can quickly swell, and low-lying roads may become impassable. Flood warnings are likely to be a regular feature in local news, and communities may need to prepare for the possibility of disruption to transport and daily life. The ground, already saturated from earlier autumn showers, will struggle to absorb more water, increasing the risk of surface flooding. Meanwhile, a very different story is unfolding in the east and southeast of the UK. Thanks to the influence of high pressure, these regions will be largely shielded from the relentless rain. Instead, residents can expect longer dry spells, brighter skies, and even some crisp, sunny afternoons. Parks and city streets will remain inviting for walks, and outdoor activities can continue with little interruption. In fact, some eastern areas could end up drier than average for this time of year, a stark contrast to the sodden fields and overflowing rivers of the west. The difference will be visible in the landscape. While the west contends with muddy tracks and puddle-strewn roads, the east may see parched fields and dry riverbeds, a reminder of just how variable the UK's weather can be. For those in the west, it's time to dig out waterproofs and brace for a blustery, damp stretch. Umbrellas and raincoats will be essential companions, and outdoor plans may need to be flexible. In the east, however, people can look forward to occasional sunny intervals and a chance to enjoy the last of the autumn colors before winter sets in. This west-east divide is a classic feature of the British autumn, a result of the ongoing battle between high and low pressure systems. As these forces clash, they create dramatic skies and ever-changing weather, sometimes even within the same day. It's a reminder of the UK's position at the crossroads of Atlantic and continental influences. So, as we move through November, the weather story is truly a tale of two halves, one wet and wild, the other calm and dry. Whether you're facing downpours or basking in sunshine, it's all part of the rich tapestry of British weather. Looking past mid-November, the forecast grows more uncertain. Weather models hint at a possible shift. High pressure could build near Greenland and Iceland. This blocking high would disrupt the usual west-to-east flow, forcing the jet stream to buckle. If this happens, much colder air from the Arctic could sweep down over the UK. The stage is set for a potential transition to wintry conditions. As we move into mid-November, the atmosphere over the UK is filled with uncertainty, and the world's leading weather models are sending mixed messages. This is a time of year when small changes in the jet stream or the position of high and low pressure systems can have outsized impacts, and right now, those changes are proving especially difficult to pin down. Meteorologists are watching closely as the models begin to diverge, each painting a different picture of what the coming weeks might hold. The stakes are high, as these forecasts will shape everything from travel plans to energy demand and even the mood of the nation. To make sense of the confusion, forecasters turn to ensembles. These are collections of dozens of model runs, each with slightly different starting conditions. By tweaking the initial data just a little, meteorologists can see a range of possible outcomes, helping them gauge not just what's most likely, but also what's possible, even if unlikely. This approach is especially valuable now, when the atmosphere is in a state of flux and the usual signals are muddled. It's a bit like looking at a weather forecast through a kaleidoscope. The patterns shift and change, revealing new possibilities with every turn. Between November 17th and 22nd, the majority of European model runs are hinting at a significant change. They suggest that colder air from the north could begin to push down across the UK, bringing with it the first real taste of winter. This would mean a shift away from the milder, wetter conditions that have dominated so far, and the potential for frosty mornings, brisk winds, and, perhaps even some wintry showers in northern areas. For those hoping for a classic November chill, these signals are encouraging. In fact, the probability of a cold snap developing during this period is now estimated at better than 60%. That's a strong signal in meteorological terms, and it's enough to get people thinking about digging out their winter coats and preparing for icy commutes. But, as always with the weather, nothing is guaranteed, and there are still important voices of dissent among the models. A significant minority of model runs continue to favor a milder, Atlantic-driven pattern. In this scenario, the UK would remain under the influence of moist, southwesterly winds, keeping temperatures above average and bringing spells of rain rather than snow. This would mean a continuation of the unsettled, sometimes dreary weather that has characterized much of the autumn so far. For those who prefer milder conditions, there's still hope that winter's arrival will be delayed. The American GFS model, meanwhile, has been especially volatile in recent days. Its runs have swung wildly from one extreme to the other, sometimes showing persistent wet and windy weather, other times hinting at near misses with much colder air. This kind of volatility is a clear sign that the atmosphere is finely balanced, and that even small changes in the coming days could tip the scales one way or the other. The disagreement between the models highlights just how close we are to a major pattern shift. It's as if the weather is standing at a crossroads, with one path leading to a sharp turn towards winter, and the other keeping us in the grip of autumn's milder, wetter regime. The tension is palpable, not just among meteorologists but also among those who follow the weather closely. Gardeners, commuters, and anyone with plans that depend on what the skies will do next. Over the next week, every new model run and every fresh set of observations will be scrutinized for clues. Will the cold air win out, or will the Atlantic's influence hold firm? The answer will shape not just the weather, but the rhythm of daily life across the UK. For now, all eyes are on the skies, waiting to see which scenario will emerge victorious. The Greenland block is the key to unlocking cold weather for the UK. When high pressure parks over Greenland, it blocks Atlantic systems and forces the jet stream south. This shift can drag Arctic air directly over the UK, bringing a sharp drop in temperatures. The Greenland block is like a boulder in a river, forcing weather patterns to change course. If it sets up, expect frosty nights and a real taste of winter. Looking towards late November and early December, long-range models offer only broad hints. Some suggest high pressure could shift east, bringing dry but mild air from southern Europe. Others keep the door open for colder, Arctic air if the Greenland block holds. The outlook is uncertain, but the potential for a wintry turn remains on the table. As we move deeper into November, the UK's weather story becomes increasingly fascinating, a tale of shifting patterns, atmospheric battles, and the ever-present question, will winter arrive early, or will autumn's grip linger a little longer? This month, more than most, is a story of two distinct halves, each with its own character and challenges. The first half of November is shaping up to be relatively mild, with temperatures often running above average for the time of year. Expect plenty of wet and windy spells, especially across western parts of the UK, where Atlantic weather systems will bring frequent rain and gusty winds. The east, meanwhile, will see drier and sometimes brighter conditions, though even here, the odd shower can't be ruled out. With the Atlantic firmly in charge, it's wise to keep your waterproofs and sturdy umbrellas close at hand. Commuters and school children alike will be dodging puddles and braving blustery winds, while outdoor plans may need to be flexible to accommodate sudden downpours. Despite the unsettled weather, temperatures will remain on the comfortable side, so there's no immediate rush to dig out the thickest winter layers. But as we approach the middle of the month, the weather narrative could take a dramatic turn. Meteorological models are beginning to hint at a possible shift in the atmospheric setup, with colder Arctic air potentially making a move southwards. This is where things get interesting, as the balance of power between mild Atlantic air and chilly Arctic influences becomes less certain. If a so-called Greenland block develops, a high-pressure system over Greenland that diverts the jet stream, then the door could open for much colder air to sweep across the UK. This would mean frosty nights, lower daytime temperatures, and the first real taste of winter for many. Rural areas could wake up to icy grass and perhaps even the season's first wintry showers, especially in the north and west. However, it's important to remember that forecasting these transitions is notoriously tricky. Computer models are still divided, with some suggesting a strong push of cold air, while others keep the Atlantic influence dominant. This uncertainty means that for now, we need to keep a close eye on the latest updates and be prepared for a range of possible outcomes. Over the next week, watch for signs of model agreement. If more forecasts begin to point towards a cold spell, confidence will grow that winter is about to make its presence felt. Meteorologists will be looking for consistent signals, such as a strengthening Greenland block or a southward shift in the jet stream, that would tip the balance in favor of colder, wintrier weather. On the other hand, if the models continue to favor a mild wet pattern, then the UK can expect more of the same: frequent rain, blustery winds, and relatively mild temperatures for the time of year. This would mean a longer autumn, with winter's arrival delayed until later in the month or even December. One thing is certain: the UK's weather is always full of surprises. Sudden changes are part and parcel of life here, and this November is shaping up to be no exception. From unexpected downpours to brief, sunny interludes, it's a month that keeps everyone on their toes. The coming weeks will see a fascinating battle play out in the skies above us, a clash between the lingering mildness of the Atlantic and the encroaching chill of Arctic air. This tug of war will determine whether we see an early start to winter or a prolonged autumn. So, as we approach mid-November, keep a close watch on the forecasts. This will be the decisive period, when the outcome for the rest of the month becomes clearer. Whether you're hoping for snow or dreading the cold, staying informed will help you prepare for whatever the weather has in store. For now, make the most of the mild air and those occasional sunny spells, but don't be too quick to pack away your winter coat. The next few weeks promise plenty of twists and turns, and as always, the UK's weather will keep us guessing right up to the last moment.